Hi, everybody. It's Friday, so you know what that means. It's happy hour. Make sure you grab a red cup, have something red on, put some red lipstick on, grab a red hat. I think those are pretty great. And make sure you're remembering everyone deployed, especially on Fridays, and all of their families. So that's what we do here at the New Normal. And we're going to join Westwood in the bar right after this. Give us a like, share the video. Cheers. Welcome, Westwood. Happy Friday.
Long time no see.
Long time no see. I've got to see you a lot this week. I really appreciated it. You were able to jump in and kind of help me out. It's always good talking current events, crypto. We were talking the XRP, SEC. Wanted to take another bite at the apple, and we kind of hashed that out. I've heard that saying before. Hash that out.
Let's hash it out.
A great show that everybody should go check out on Blind Dave's channel, Blind Dave 2, number 2, on YouTube, and it's called Hash It Out.
And that's what we do.
That's what they do.
We kind of got into it a little bit yesterday. I saw you popped in there, and I was getting to the point because I'd come in a little late, because I was filling in for Johnny, but I was trying to get my head around the whole XRP thing, because there are a lot of people out there saying, oh my gosh, these things are going to be, you don't know what they're going to be worth. These tokens or coins are going to be worth so much money. And I'm trying to get my head around, where does that value come from? And almost got there, but the guy that was there, he was having issues and popped out. And I'm like,
was that the hiccup guy?
Yeah.
I didn't know who that was. I haven't seen him before.
I get it. Here's my summation of it. This is how I see it. I could be totally wrong. Okay, so what's going to give XRP value? The ability, the utility of it, the ability to transact value in pretty much real time. Okay, so that's a valuable thing.
It's not backed by anything other than its use case.
Right, and so to think that it's going to be worth $30,000 like a Bitcoin, I don't see that, because it's not a rare commodity. But the use case of doing it could solve some problems, with all these banks. They want to use that technology to make instant transactions verified on a blockchain. I get it. But in my mind, here's the analogy. You go to eBay and you want to buy something on eBay. All right. So right now you buy it with, a credit card, a debit card, whatever it is. You've got funds, though, already ready to go. And so you use Visa, PayPal, or whatever it is as an intermediary to settle the funds or get the funds from point A to the person selling it. Okay, so and then it all takes care of itself. You pay it, boom, eBay, the platform, if you screw up, you can go to them for recourse if the person doesn't deliver it. You give them bad feedback, whatever it is. So XRP, I guess, could step in as that middleman to transfer value. And on my end, I might say, hey, I want to spend dollars, I want to spend Litecoin, whatever I want to spend. And then XRP says, okay, this is what you're spending. On the other end, it's, okay, you're going to get it. And so the problem I have is, I guess I got to have it in a custody at some place, in eBay or in some funds, or, I got to send it. I mean, I have to send it through some platform, don't I? How do I send my Litecoin through XRP and have it come out as Litecoin on the other end if somebody wants Litecoin? So it's like there's got to be, on the front end, it's got to be tied into the exchange or the depository, where I put it. And then say it's a bank. I guess that's what it is. I got to deal with a bank. Okay, so I got to deposit my Litecoin in the bank. Okay, I'm spending one Litecoin. XRP says, yes, he's spending one Litecoin. And then the bank's on the hook to make sure it gets there. So how does XRP take it and move it? It just verifies that it's like my word is on the blockchain that I'm going to do this, and it is there. But on the other end, it's still got to get translated. So, so I don't know.
I agree.
I'd rather just pay with Litecoin and be done with it. Problem solved.
Well, and that all infringes on Reggie's patents, which is fine. They can pay for a license that they're infringing on, and allegedly, and have a license to to do their process or whatever with that third party. But that's part of the problem is the intermediaries.
Right.
I thought we were getting rid of that, and we were doing actually peer-to-peer, which that's really Reggie's IP, is that we don't need all that middleman stuff.
Right.
He was doing those trades on Bitcoin without Ethereum, without Chinese-backed Ethereum, in 2014.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
are we using tools, the old systems creeping into the freedom system? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of how I see it, because it's like we can send digital money.
Backwards.
We can send our value already. Well, why do we need, I mean, I guess you think of Visa and MasterCard and how long it takes to settle, I get it. Okay, so let's say XRP takes over that process and handles it, or partners with them, but there's still, you've got to have those partnerships and those things, whereas if it's truly peer-to-peer, the blockchain takes care of it. And it's the inherent value of that coin on the blockchain because of scarcity, because of longevity of the network, and working and being productive and all those things, proof of work. I mean, that gives its inherent value. And I guess, why do you need an intermediary at that point when you can just send it directly? I guess you're still taking a chance. It's like I can send a Litecoin to somebody and they may not deliver the goods. So I guess maybe when you're doing it that way, I guess you need that kind of infrastructure to come after somebody.
Doing that, it was he was writing smart contracts on Bitcoin. You can go back and watch. I mean, you can read the patents. You can go to veridao.io and there's links with resources and information, but it wasn't needed. And that's what we keep putting things in. We keep asking permission from somebody that doesn't have authority over us. And that's the problem right now with so many different issues, whether that is our freedom of speech, whether that is our liberty to move around, that is the way we choose to transact with each other, with one another. We have got to stop asking permission from people that don't have authority over us. And submitting to middlemen. And I mean, it is literally creating a golden calf, an idol between you and the universe, God, the divine, whatever you want to call it. But you literally are creating an idol between you and who really is the source of everything. I don't know. It's frustrating.
There's no shortage of that going around.
Yeah, for sure.
We need to make fake little golden calves, fake gold, and sell them. It's like everybody gets a golden calf. Tokenize the golden calves and redeemable and mini golden calves. We can get them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Backed by golden calves.
Oh, just so many things this week. There is article after article talking about the economy right now.
PPI came in hotter than expected. The producer price index, which just means that's going to roll through to the consumer at some point.
Okay.
So they're raising rates, yet
is that
inflation's still going up?
You read it on Zero Hedge. Clint Westwood said, "You want a million clicks, you want a million thumbs up and likes on your videos. Break those algorithms. Start reading Zero Hedge out loud."
I know, just read Zero Hedge.
Anyway, but my husband sent me this. Phase 2 of world financial demolition just started. And look at this ad over here. TheMarketEar.com. No longer muted. Meaning of the day. Goldman Sachs Rubner nails it. Market moves are exacerbated and no longer muted. This is new and changed today. Something's going on. I did see
something's afoot.
Also, Japan, their bond market typically is kind of a tell or a marker, and they just had their big sell off. So they're anticipating that we're going to have a problem in the Wall Street.
Yeah, I think some things are coming. I mean, you're starting to see, China, remember Evergrande, the big housing kind of involved in property, real estate and all that stuff. Well, there's another one out there. I wrote it down. It's Country Garden Holdings. It's like 4 times the housing projects as Evergrande, and they haven't paid the interest on a couple of bonds, and they've got a 30-day grace period. And if they don't pay it in 30 days, they're basically in default. Okay, so what kind of ripple effect does that have? 4 times as big.
You
as
just
Evergrande.
did ripple effect, just linguist stuff, or you're leaking. Your psychic ability is leaking. I don't know, one of the two. But there's a 30-day thing here from August 22/23, depending on where you are on the little ball that rolls around, or if you think it's flat, whatever your
disc, frisbee
is. I don't care.
Frisbee Earth model.
Yeah, that's not the hill I'm going to die on. But there's a 30-day window that there's a ton of comms hitting September 23rd.
I had a lot of chatter about those days, 22nd, 23rd in there.
Yeah. So this weekend, Canon's video came out, and I told Patreon about it. We had to tell Patreon because he's been updating Patreon about. And then the video went public today. So now everyone can see the video where we're talking to Patreon, and he's updating them with his Fortnite information. And we're doing first dibs for my weekend pickups from last weekend. So they're live now on Mighty Merchants with all my Namaji pottery and some really cool stuff, a leather hand-tooled wallet, and some other really cool stuff that I got from my friend Julia at Flippin' Awesome in Yukon, who I just adore. She is a Roderuda fan. She watches Big Swear and tells all her friends, and they all talk about it. And her mom and her are both very in the know and aware of what's going on in the world. And I got to meet Julia's friend Kim today, and she's a silver stacker and a freedom lover. And so we went back today to visit with her, and I got to hear some of the stuff she's doing. She partners with a retirement community and helps support them with getting rid of people's items as they move into like a assisted living center or something like that. And she also helps find items that maybe they need, like a smaller item or desk or something for their space in the assisted living. So she's very community minded. Every time we go in there, it's really cool because people are always coming in and wanting to visit with her and stay connected with her. So that was a lot of fun today. But we were discussing this, some of the stuff that we're seeing right now. And so you can watch that video with me and Canon and some of my stuff. It went live at 3:30 today. And then where is the thing that Public sent me this thing on Facebook? Can we go woo?
Do it.
A little bit. So Public sent me, I probably can't get it from my computer because of his phone. I'm going to buy him an iPhone. I swear. He won't use it, but.
Oh, because he's got an Android, and so it doesn't translate well.
Then I can't see my text messages from him.
Yeah, okay, that's right. It was all because he went to that event that's now falling apart.
I know.
The narrative.
I know.
J5+1.
Somebody about that too. We won't go there right now, but.
Okay.
I don't need a visit.
Hey, knock knock company.
No, that would be no, thank you.
Not my bag, baby. I'm not carrying it.
Yeah. So this weekend, in Canon's update, he said that and then he called me this morning and he's like, Mom, the telescope is active and it's shooting a purple beam into the sky. And I was like, Westwood just said something about a purple cloud.
Purple light coming from the purple clouds coming from
or something like that. Well,
purple energy coming to the earth.
Purple energy. So this weekend, hold on, there is going to be this is huge, Perseid meteor shower peaks this weekend. So I'm wondering if this could create a Carrington effect.
An event on the horizon.
It says nature's fireworks will be flashing as they move throughout the sky, and you'll be able to see them without a telescope.
It's like right over there. We'll be looking tonight.
Oh, I can't imagine out over the farm how
I'll walk out over here and get her. Got to get around the trees on this side because they're over there.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to take some video of that if you can get some video.
I can't get a night video. That sucks because I should put it on a tripod and then
really?
hold it so it opens and you can see it better.
Oh, okay.
Because stabilize it. I'll be like.
So it says this weekend, August 12th and 13th, you'll be able to watch what you might want to call the fireworks finale, people. The fireworks finale.
Da, 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 da.
The show is over. The fireworks are going.
Hey.
More properly termed the peak of the Perseid.
Yeah. Perseid. Yeah.
Okay. Perseid.
Named after Perseus, I guess.
Perseid. Meteor showers, at which times may produce up to 90 meteors per hour.
That's more than one per second. Skipper?
So Jenny did a reading with me when we were in Vegas.
One per minute.
Oh no, was it Arizona? I don't know. We were all together one time, and she told me that Cannon and I would go outside and look northwest or north something, and we would see this. We'd be looking in the sky for something, and it meant something. And now I wish I wrote it down what she said. Oh well. Anyway, the morning will be in its waning stage. The meteors will be more visible in the darker sky between midnight and sunrise. Just look in the northeastern sky where you'll see the constellation called Perseus, which is just below Castor.
That's why they're called the Perseids, because it probably goes through the constellation Perseus.
Sounds like a lot of purses. Maybe it has something to do with the financial system. Visibility will be best from Saturday night through Sunday morning. There'll be more clouds Sunday night through Monday morning.
Grab them by the Perseids.
Grab the purses. So if this were to cause some kind of Carrington effect, PayPal just rolled out their weird
stable coin that they horrible name, horrible branding. I don't even know what it is. What is it, like
PUSD or PYD?
PUSD.
PUSD. I don't know. It is terrible.
Bad branding.
Bad idea. Bad branding, bad idea.
Don't you think that might be the second failure because they tried it with Libra and now
it may be the second and the third altogether because also Amex announced yesterday a partnership with Ripple. So PayPal's going to do their USD whatever. Ripple's the railing for Amex. Visa, MasterCard, all that is on PayPal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, PayPal's just like an amalgamation of banks, and cards and all this stuff. So it's like a portal to all your payment systems. So you can link them all up through PayPal.
Portal, really?
Wow.
Cannon talks about portals all the time.
You want to know about purple energy, purple clouds? The reason why I know this stuff? Okay.
Yeah, tell me.
Remember when we went to Arizona and we did our little frequency boom?
Yes,
with the discs and all that stuff.
The
energy healing. When I was in the dark on my back next to Lake Queen Lisa. No, anyway, I was watching, and we're in this room, we're all lying around like cult members, and they've got these dong boom. What do they call them? The gongs or the gongs?
There were gongs, but also the bowls.
The bowls and the gongs.
Singing
and all
bowls,
that stuff.
I think they call them.
Yeah. Okay.
Jim Montgomery will know what they're called.
So they were doing all that, and it was the visions that I had, because I just let myself go. I can get into this stuff. And the visions
little Joshy Lake let himself go.
Oh, yeah. So the visions for me were I saw purple clouds descending upon Earth and covering Earth. That's what I saw. And it was very vivid, all kinds of just the purple energy coming into Earth. And so that's why I say that, because, I'm like, it means something. I'm seeing this. So.
Well, when we know August 22nd, BRICS is, formalizing or making their announcement of like what that looks like, what is their thing backed by, or what those, what's the right wording of what is that official announcement? Do you know what's the right wording?
Gold linked currency. I don't know if it's gold backed. Somebody's got to do the research on that, because if it's gold backed, it means it's redeemable. Kind of, maybe not. I guess if it's gold linked, then maybe it's like it's the goal ultimately is, maybe an ounce of gold equals, 100,000 of these. You know what I mean? It's not a 1-for-1 relationship to where it's like, here's a $20 bill, you get a $20 coin, it's worth, almost an ounce of gold. I don't know. It can be anything. But if it's backed or linked or whatever it is, at least there's some standard. And I mean, I guess that's the thing. There's a standard, because right now, Fed notes, there's nothing backing that. You can't redeem them for anything. But if at some point you can redeem it with member nations and say, hey, I want to take possession of this gold, or I don't know how it all works, but it's got to have some peg, to the gold. I don't know how it's going to work. We're going to find out, I guess.
Okay, I want to hear more about your. So what were you thinking, manifesting? Were you just like open to whatever message?
Oh, during that session,
your purple came in.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was just, I was just like, just open my mind to the universe. And it was almost like I was floating forward out of my body, up into the sky and just above everything. And then, I felt coming toward and being surrounded by, and the purple clouds coming this way, going toward Earth. And I mean, they were very vivid, it was just like, this is happening. This is coming. That was the sense that I got, because I could see it in my mind. I could see the purple shades and gradients of purpleness, of these clouds coming.
The purpliest purple.
The purpliest, the most purple, all colors of purple. But very obviously purple. And so I guess, that color, that frequency, whatever that translates to, I didn't do homework on it. I don't know, But I've heard that before too, to where we're entering like the purple energy phase or something of the Earth passing through whatever it's passing through. Okay. I'm not sure what that means though. I just know that I experienced it.
It's so weird to see all these comms in my son's video game, because, I pay attention. Like, he doesn't go on group chats. He only plays with people he knows. And we've had, we're just safe. He's a little boy that needs to be protected. Right. And then Public sent me this. Oh, is it playing already? It's already playing. Okay. It says September 23rd predictive programming, and it lists all these videos that mention the 23rd. Wait, here we go.
2023. Show Big Bang Theory. An asteroid strike is expected September 23rd. In the movie Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, an asteroid strikes September 23rd. Julia, a meteor strikes September 23rd.
Meteors.
Knowing, solar flare strikes September 22nd. Lasting until September 23rd. Little Shop of Horrors. Humans are threatened by an event. September 23rd. Tomorrowland. Disaster strikes September 23rd. 23. Hell will arrive September 23rd. Sleepy Hollow. A dimension opens up September 23rd. Ghostbusters. Evil is released on September 23rd. This is the end. 9/23 is the date the rapture happens. Pandemic. Outbreak starts September 23rd. Either fake aliens, fake Carrington event, or fake asteroid, September 2023.
You heard it here. Thanks to the Public Awakening. If you guys aren't following him on Twitter, @TPA_is_back. Please go follow him.
It just depends on what year it is. So this year? I don't know. There's a lot of culminating events this year. I mean, more so than you've ever seen. You've got this whole, what was it, in Peru, or the whole alien thing going on, people panicking. And I don't know. But the fact is, that could be a fulfillment of the language, though, too. Because it's the event out there, people talking about. Hard telling. It's hard to know, from foreign sources, everything coming in, unless you've got a lot of corroborating sources. It's kind of a one-off.
I'm so tied to the financial system, and with that BRICS announcement coming on 8/22, a lot of times things will be announced, and then for some reason it's like but they don't happen till or they aren't enacted till 30 years later. It's like that's maybe that's some universe law or some maritime law, or I don't know what law, but
maybe it's just nature itself, just the way things work. It's kind of like, what is it? Buy the rumor, sell the news. There's all the hype going up to it, and then it's like a letdown because it's like, oh, okay, well, nothing fell apart. But it doesn't mean that down the road, because it's just like right now, what's happening. Things are collapsing. I mean, banks are going under. They're not talking about it. They're bailing them out, making them whole, doing whatever they have to do.
We are on Road Rooter.
Right. I mean, so behind the scenes, these things are happening, but it's not to the, so it's like these tremor effects, waiting for the big one. And it's, you see it out there. And when you look back, you're going to say, well, shit, how did we not see this coming? Just like when you look at 2008, people say, what are these idiots doing getting collateral debt securities? There's nothing here. I mean, subprime mortgages. How are they stupid? I mean, how can nobody see this coming? And it had been building and they saw it's falling apart through the lens of history. But when you're looking at it, right now, you're just like, they bailed it out. It'll probably be okay. Yeah.
They're just going to keep doing it. They're just going to keep.
It'll be fine.
Man, it'll be fine.
And then the big one hits and you're like, oh, crap. Everybody just stops trading with each other. Everybody just is done. You don't trust anything. And then everything freezes up. And it's like, okay, what do we do now? And so then they ramp up and usher in, whatever they had planned to begin with. It's like a dangling Chad in the 2000 election. Oh, we can't tell, Gore and Bush. Well, we need electronic voting machines and we won't have this problem anymore. And so, boom, here's some federal money. Got voting machines now. And so it's this problem reaction solution thing. Yeah, fixed.
That'll fix it.
That'll fix it for real. I mean,
oh gosh.
So, throughout history, you can look back and you say, well, how did they have the Patriot Act ready so soon? Well, they kind of knew what was going to happen at some point and had it ready to roll out. The same with the voting machines. It's like, oh, okay, cool, roll it out. So they'll do the same thing now, and it's hard living through it to see that that's really what's happening. But yeah, something's going to change. I don't know what it's going to be, which way it's going to go. There's a lot of speculation. There are a lot of ways that it can go. Again, I mean, we've got different tools now, and we might say, F it, I'm fine. Let the banks fail, whatever. I got all my stuff in my possession. I've seen it coming. It's going to be hard for a while, but.
Well, but there's also there's some serious military action going around right now.
And then you've got that whole thing to where it's like, okay, maybe this is just all scripted. Maybe this is all staged. Maybe everything that's happening right now is meant to happen so that people wake up. And so we don't have this revolution and blood in the streets kind of event. It's okay, we see who did it, we see the criminals, we see the bad guys, and if they offer us a solution, no, we're not doing that.
Right. Well, and Jan Halpern Hayes said Space Force has it all. And this is not just about an election. Remember, and that's one of the things Trump said too. It's not just
right.
And how do they say it? It's not just an election, or it's not. It was like it's not just this.
Not just another 4-year election or something.
Not
like
just
that.
another 4-year election. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that was the language that was used.
Because it's not just about that. It's
right.
about.
It's bigger.
So much more.
It's the whole thing.
The whole thing. It's
a great awakening, and as humanity, we go through these times, and that's the thing. Okay, let's say Trump has been working, on the what the freak. Trump's been working with the covert good guy team forever. Let's say, well, why didn't he step up further? Well, he kind of telegraphed it on Oprah and in different places. Hey, if things got really bad, then I might consider, to save the country, run for president. He said that 40 years ago. And, so it has been telegraphed, but it's like it's timing with all this stuff. People wouldn't have been awake enough to be able to get some of this stuff, if he'd run in 2000, and so there were hints that he was going to, but it just wasn't time yet. It wasn't time for someone like that to step in and upset the apple cart so much. And the great awakening wasn't here. The purple energy, we weren't going through it yet. We had to get to that point where humanity could start to awaken through whatever cosmic way, and then these things will happen. So it's the timeline has to get to a certain point where humanity is receptive enough to be able to be awake enough and activate something inside themselves to where, okay, now we can roll with this stuff. So a lot of this is slow rolling to that perfect time to where it can just change overnight. Because in the past it wouldn't have, because you'd have people say, oh, well, everything's fine, I don't believe any of this stuff, But now we've kind of been awakening and coming out of our slumber, and we're like, okay, I can see how this might be happening and might be true and might, and so it's that kind of thing. It's nuanced. I don't know where I'm going with it.
I think you're right. And we talked about I think we talked about it the other day. That My favorite number said that it would be one more indictment. You know, they might actually arrest him to wake people up if that's what it took. I mean, I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they're heading that way. They're kind of pushing it that way to where, you know, you're going to see him locked up in cuffs and pulled out of his home and, you know, for some trumped up charge to really have that just, what is happening? You know, people are going to say, what? For what? I mean, meanwhile, you got, you know, bags of white powder, you know, in the White House. We're not going to talk about that. And, you know, you've got millions of dollars that are documented, you know, on paper, you know, that have been transferred into certain people's accounts. And then you see, you know, the bragging on TV of, hey, I made it happen. You know, call the president, you know, we'll see what happens, you know, fire that prosecutor. And it's just, okay, but you're going to try and get this guy on this, and then you're going to try and get him for inciting a riot when it turns out that the whole thing was rigged anyway and all the security was backed off. And, you know, it's a misplay. And see, I see it as you've got a corrupt organization that's run corrupt people that have run a corrupt organization for a long time, but they're at death throes right now. They're just grasping at straws. They're trying to maintain control and power when there's too much information out there. There's just too much. We see it all. We can see it, and we can see the whole shenanigans going on. And that's why, you know, every time you indict him, his poll numbers go up. They're like, no, this is ridiculous. You know, so I just.
Well, and was it Feinstein just signed power of attorney over to her daughters, but she's staying in Congress. How can you be mentally incapable where you're signing power of attorney over to your children, but you're gonna sit in Congress for all the rest of us? Like, no, thank you. I don't want you making any decisions.
Just say yay. Just say yay.
Just say yay.
Just say yay. Shut up.
Or did she say ye? Did they say
yay?
That's
you say Kanye.
Kanye thing. The other thing.
What about Pete Davidson and Madonna? No, that was a Freudian slip. Pete Davidson and Hillary. What's going on there? Anyway, go look in that whole crazy.
Is that her boyfriend when she liked boys? Because Uma's her partner.
Right, but there's a little thread going on with that.
Yeah.
He's got a tattoo over on his forearm, I'm pretty sure, of Hillary. Why would you do that? Why would someone do that?
Why would someone do that?
Weird. He kind of looks like a vampire. With his dark eyes. He was with Kim Kardashian, kind of making his rounds. Johnny brought that up. He's like, what's this deal with this
I don't even know who this guy is that you're talking about.
Oh, he's the Saturday Night Live guy. Go look up Pete Davidson. Isn't that his name, Pete Davidson? I mean, he's hanging with all these women, and it's like, you know, somehow he got into this inner coven circle somehow.
Oh, is he part of the so there's rumors that Hillary was with that NXIVM cult.
Probably part of it. It's all connected. See, that's the thing. There's just like, it's all these little organizations that connect into the board.
Actually,
you know, it's like vampire squid with all the tentacles.
In the Team Mighty group, there is a.
I'm just having some drinks at a bar.
Anatomy of a Conspiracy. That is quite interesting. That anybody can go check out.
Yeah, check out Lisa's Telegram. A lot of stuff in there.
Kind of
Team Mighty Telegram.
Yes. There's a link in the description of this video for you to join. It's free. But it was very interesting about all these people.
Yeah, they're all connected in some way. And then you look at what's going on in Hollywood right now, this Hollywood strike, and you think, okay, is this to like put them out of business? Because that's their panic and fear. I mean, these people, these writers and even actors joining in, you look at the actors who are participating in it. Is this just like a squeezing of the energy out of Hollywood, you know, just like wrangling the energy out of it is so that they can't produce anymore? And you just, because this is a big fear now. We're not going to have any Christmas movies coming out. You know, we don't have the writers. I mean, nothing's going to get finished. Oh, you know, what are we going to do to make money?
Mm-hmm. I think we're going to have plenty to watch.
Maybe we'll have some real life documentaries going.
Maybe we'll have plenty to watch. Maybe some stories. Plenty to watch. I heard a guy just go completely bonkers on on a video today about
subpoena Mike Pence. Is that what you said, Mike Pence?
Yeah, literally.
I didn't even know that. I said I subpoena. I was thinking, Trump. I subpoena Mike Pence.
Subpoena.
Subpoena.
If the things that man said about Mike Pence are true.
I think I know the video you're talking about. The numbers, he's given actual numbers of, this many.
And what happens to children in the basement of the White House?
Hot dogs and pizza. Big parties.
How much did Obama pay for that?
Like 65, 60 some thousand.
Yeah. Something like that. There was a video of him today or yesterday and Kamala greeting people, and I think there was this like old lost guy walking around.
It was Biden
behind him. Oh, that was President Biden.
That was the president.
Oh, no one was talking to him or looking at him. But Obama and Kamala were shaking everyone's hands and walking around.
Yeah, he's done. And if you look at some of the, conspiracy stuff, that's out there, Snippy talks about this a lot.
He's shot.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Trump even said it. He's shot. He's shot. He's shot. He's done. He's shot. Take it literally, take it figuratively, however you want to take it. But yeah, he's shot. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, you look at some of the Snippy stuff. He talks about Entheos and some of the posts. That one from a week or 2 weeks ago to where, someone's going to check out. Basically, is how I interpret it.
And I sent you the Elmo meme today.
And then you're like, does that mean something's going to happen to the hunter? Yeah.
We might go hunting a little too much.
But wouldn't that be the perfect excuse? And I think Snippy made a video today about it. And I mean, it does make sense to where, that's how you get Biden out of there. A tragedy in the family happens. Something happens, with Hunter that's horrible, maybe on the surface, but something happens. It's like, I just have to resign. Kamala becomes vice president. Newsom's now the new vice president appointed, unelected. She gets kicked out because she's not a citizen or something. Who knows?
An anchor baby.
Yeah, and then he's president, and then JFK or RFK, sorry, Freudian slip. The same bloodlines. I mean, RFK steps up, and then he goes toe to toe with Newsom, and he'll wipe the floor with him. I mean, because what's Newsom have to stand on? California? All you people out in California, how you feel about that crap?
Pelosi
and Newsom, the buddies, that whole thing, that whole connection with them and the families.
His Aunt Pelosi.
Yeah, I mean, come on. And then you've got, the golden boy, RFK, hey, my uncle got shot because he's fighting the deep state. Hey, my dad was trying to run for president. He's fighting against tyranny. I can't get Secret Service protection. I mean, they won't give it to me. I need it, more than ever since this Ecuadorian thing. The guy gets shot, and it's like, hey.
I don't think I'm in Bix's camp. I don't think we're going to see an election. I think the people will see the destruction, and they will lack so much trust that they will go local. I got an email today.
Right. You say, implode this corporation. We're going to take care of our own affairs at home. We don't care what you're doing anymore. We're done with it. We're done. We don't need a CEO.
Yep, I got an maybe I'm not supposed to talk about it because Westwood keeps telling me not to talk about it. Maybe I need to listen to my friend. But everyone should get involved in their local, pay attention to what's happening locally. If you receive an email asking you, or a message from a friend asking you to get involved or get engaged at a local level, there are opportunities that are popping up. These are completely nonviolent. Like this one opportunity that I heard about has to do with like housing jurisdiction or codes or whatever it's called, where they like, can apartments be here or whatever.
Right. Zoning issues.
Thank you. Yeah. That's still a way to make your voice heard and be active in your community. So this is all about finding ways to get engaged, be a part of your community.
Yeah. Ultimately, who scoops the snow in Illinois in the winter? It's somebody local. Somebody's running that equipment. It's not Joe Biden sending in the troops. It's not. I mean, when things really fall apart locally, I mean, look at Hawaii, Maui, for instance, what happened there? Who's the first responders are the people who are there, boots on the ground, doctors, all the people who are on that island, because that's a perfect example. They're isolated. They're not going to get things out there that they need. I mean, it's the people right now. I don't care what the president says. Oh, it's horrible. It's terrible. Oh, we're going to send this and that. And it's like, I need water now.
In those areas.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
there's
Oprah's
also
got like 1,000 acres of forest land out there, or
I think,
whatever it is.
yeah, Oprah
There's a
does.
lot of big Hollywood money out there.
Obamas do. Others. I also heard they had issues with things underground there.
Yeah,
and
I've heard that too, because, hey, you got a lot of lava tubes,
Yeah.
they're naturally formed by all the volcanic action that's gone out there. Who knows what goes on? These islands, you got to watch them. They're kind of isolated. Look at that thing in the Bahamas, that we had with the white and blue stripes, that building, the Jeffrey Temple.
Well, and that's what they're saying, that although we all heard about that one, that there are many of these.
Yeah, because if you have a network of vampires that are running the show, that everywhere they go, wherever they hang out, they're going to want to have all the things that they need, if you get my drift.
Yes. And
they need it.
Maybe own an airline company.
And that flies you into space too.
Yeah, that talks about, is that the one that is it
Virgin?
Virgin went to space? Okay. Virgin. I was like, why would you
pristine, name it? It's clean, it's virgin. I like Virgin for the name.
But it's red logo.
There's that red again.
I'm telling you. The only thing red we like is remember everyone deployed here on Happy Hour.
All right, turn it on them.
And turn the stripes on the other way. On our flag. That's
turn it the other way.
That's the only way. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Flip it on them. That's what you got to do.
It is. Ooh, I forgot to hold on.
You got a little something special coming up.
What time it was? Yes, I'm
gonna go get a drink and a refill while you
go get a drink because I'm gonna invite. There's 2 little birthday boys actually that I was gonna send a link to, and see if they could come on and join us because it is Tom's birthday today and yesterday was Mitchie's birthday. So I was gonna have them pop on and see if they could join us to say hi. Why is my Mitch? Do you have a? Oh, because I'm calling you Mitchie, but I have you in my phone as Mitch, actually. Very official. So, yeah, I was hoping some birthday boys could pop on here, and I don't even know if Wes can hear me. I could probably say all kinds of things about him, and he wouldn't even know. Oh, he's got his AirPod in. Now he can.
Yeah, you're talking about me. I wouldn't even know.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think he can hear me. So
I still have the teacher instinct. I got the I got the 360 ears and the eyes in the back of my head thing.
Yes. So I'm gonna send him Mitchie a link because his birthday was yesterday. Tom's birthday's today, so I'm gonna send one to Tom too.
Holy cow, we got birthdays! It's your birthday.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
If he can, I don't know. He might be busy. I know he
was
visiting his family and had his little grandbabies all around him, and I'll see. It won't let me send it to him.
What you drinking, Lisa?
A little Tito's and Zevia. It's such a nice thing. I think about how blessed we are having this community that we have, and I think about like even something so little as one time I got an email from Uncle Cliff because he saw me drinking Fresca, and he was like, Lisa, that has aspartame and it is very bad for you. And
he's not one to pull punches, is he?
Oh, he loves with the truth. That's how
like, hey,
he loves you with the truth.
Yeah.
And I think that if more of us would embrace that, when someone is willing to come to us with the truth, especially about something that might be hard about ourselves, but it's because they care enough about you to not just let you keep drinking aspartame.
Right. Hey, Westwood, you should quit drinking and quit smoking cigars.
And you can make your own decision once you have the information. But the fact that they care enough to bring you information, it's like
I know. No, it's good. I mean, it really is. It's like, because ultimately that's what we're here to do. Seek out the truth. And that's what's brought so many of us together, because we're seeking out the truth in our own little individual decentralized way. And we're coming together because, hey, the truth kind of brings people together.
Yeah.
And that's an important thing. It does. It's a lighthouse. It's like, just like that Litecoin thing.
Gosh, I was at this estate sale and I almost got this one thing and I didn't get it. And now I'm just kicking.
Should have got that lighthouse.
So it was on Ivory. And that's what I was like a little, I was like, first of all, that would probably freak him out. Second of all, it might be.
That's the way it used to be, though. I mean, they used to carve stuff on ivory, with the tusks and everything. And I mean, that was what sailors and all that
So there were like these
and
ivory bone pieces, and they had different lighthouses.
Can't save the animal now. It's already gone. It is what it is.
So it may have been from, I don't know. I was like, will that freak him out because it's animal based? 2, is it illegal for me to buy? I don't know.
Transport across state lines. Once you come into Illinois, look out. You never know. It might stop you.
Good news in New Jersey and New York though. The Constitution survived, and you can go get your guns and 2A up in New York. Everyone, please be smart, educate yourself, make sure that you're practiced and comfortable with your arms. But that was exciting for me. Happy birthday, Mitchie.
Who dis? Happy birthday +1.
What's up? How's everyone doing?
Really good. Really good.
Surrounded by bees.
I made well, I didn't make it actually at all. My husband made dinner the other day.
Talking about?
I didn't make it at all. What am I talking about? My husband.
That's his intellectual property. That's his energy. You can't take it hostage.
It's actually Chef Pierre's, but
okay.
But my husband put the proof of work in it.
Okay, Chef Pierre's intellectual property, Charlie's proof of work.
That's right.
And you get the benefit.
Was it honey something chicken? I don't know. It was
honey
delicious.
Garlic chicken. It looked amazing.
Yes, and we used the honey that you gave us at the last meetup at Westwood's meetup, and it was delicious. And all this like natural organic honey, and I had to have a little extra on the side, so it was so good.
You're right, Mitch. It's like simple sugar because it's very light and very fruity. Just great, perfect.
Did it work good?
Well, I ate all the honey before I could use it in the drink. That's the problem. But it'd be a great simple sugar.
I'll have to send you some more clear stuff because the clear stuff doesn't have that.
It's not heavy.
Right, it's not a heavy flavor. It's more sweet.
I like them both, but you put that in a mixed drink or something. Man, I should have done that making the old fashions. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, when you come back, that's what we're doing.
That's what you'll do. That'll be so much fun.
We actually got a bar up the road that took some of our honey from us, and they're giving us fancy bottles and stuff.
Oh yes.
So that's where it got the idea. He's like, I'll use this as a simple syrup for our drinks. And I'm like,
exactly. That's what it is. It's perfect for that.
What a great idea. And it's organic. It's healthy.
All
it's
natural.
Good for you. Not
body metabolizes it better than sugar.
None of the processed
high fructose sugar BS.
Corn crap.
Exactly.
Oh, wait. The main squeezes. One of the main squeezes is in the chat.
Helen or Denise?
Hello, Denise.
Oh, Denise. All right.
We need to go up to Maine. I want to go up there. We need to do a Pennsylvania, Jersey, Maine trip again.
Well, Paulie P, he'll be all for Maine because, he's looking at properties all the time up in Maine. He likes Maine.
Oh,
I thought I just outed him. So we got a connection. We got hookups.
Last week I made some salmon and I made a honey glaze for it. And put that over it with garlic and stuff in the honey glaze. Oh, it's so good.
I'll have to tell Cannon and Charlie about that. I don't care for fish. They force me to try every time they make it. I try bite, but I'm just like, smells like a goldfish bowl. I'm not interested.
It's got all those parasites in it. I can't. The
Mercury.
raw fish. I don't know how anybody eats the raw fish.
Anyway, but they love it, and so I'll make that suggestion to them for when Cannon comes back home, that they can try to do like a honey glaze on the salmon.
For sure,
that's a great idea.
For sure, no, that's awesome. So yesterday I was able to. I spent my birthday with Lisa. We went and got that big beehive. I don't know if you guys all saw the video in that rock. That was crazy. So that was a lot of fun. We got a lot of honey out of that. Actually, we got about 1.5 gallons of honey out of it.
Oh wow!
Cool.
And made $100.
There you go.
So you guys, when you do a bee capture like that or a swarm capture, you rescue the honey as well.
Yes.
That's awesome. I love that.
We rescue the honey, and if the hive is calm or a mild hive, we try to save it. But up until this last one we did, we haven't had much luck. They swarm. And so hopefully, like the last one, the one we just did yesterday, we actually put its own honeycomb in frames and put them in a box, and then dumped all the bees into that box. So hopefully that hive will stay, and it was a real calm hive, so that was cool.
Well, if you have the queen there,
right,
as long as the queen is intact, or this is what my mom taught me. I do not know anything about bee keeping, but my mom did beekeeping for a few years, and it's all about the queen bee being intact and cared for and all that. And as long as she's safe, then like the rest of the hive is in like good juju.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, well, it's all about the queen. So like we have one hive that's a real aggressive hive. So every time we go to the apiary, it just tears us up. We got our suits on, so it's bad, but it's a really aggressive hive. So we got to get in there and kill the queen and then replace her with another queen.
Yeah.
Sacrifice that queen. She's a bad queen.
That's right.
Like Mary.
That's right.
She's like Bloody Mary, that queen. We got to get rid of her. We need Queen Elizabeth in here.
It's a true thing, though, with the bees. Like, if you change just the queen, the behavior of all the worker bees change. So there are like, is it Italian bees that are more calm? There are certain
those are the ones that love up on you and kiss on you, the Italian ones.
Well, I'm not talking about humans. I'm talking about bees. But there are I don't know. Mom was telling me about this before. There's certain kinds, like you could order a calm or a bee.
Better beehive because better queen. Yeah,
maybe that's a bloodline thing.
Well, it is. I mean, that you can order queens, and depending on where you order them from, you know, some people have better reputations than others. So it's interesting. I'm learning so much, and you know, when we go to extract a hive now, we charge a minimum $100, and if we got to get into somebody's attic, of course, it's going to be a little bit more.
Oh Lord!
But I was like,
look around while you're in there and call me.
Yeah,
you might find some goodies.
But you can't continue to do it for free. It's just unsustainable, you know, especially with gas, and you're driving 20 minutes to go take a beehive from people. So we started charging, and we've gotten so much response from the Nextdoor app of people always calling for bee removal. It's almost like it's become my job now. So we just go do it, and it's kind of cool.
How fun. I love
that. Carpenter, gigolo, beekeeper, bee extractor. I mean, all this stuff.
Piper.
Italian stallion.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what do you want? What do you want me to be? I got this.
Well, I don't know about the gigolo part, but
He's like, I'll leave that part out. No, thank you.
That's for the younger days.
No, I
was actually inspired to do a video yesterday, and I just timing and everything, I didn't really get around to do it. So, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm talking to the chat. I like crab and lobster, but I'm also listening to you. I'm multitasking. I'm a woman.
But no, I was going to talk about, you know, the things that happen to us in life, and what spurred on my thought was I was at the bee apiary, and I had my boots on, and I had this tiny little pebble in my boot, right? And it was driving me nuts every time I'd take a step. So I finally took the energy and stopped and untied my boot, took my boot off, and got the pebble out. It just kind of struck me as a good analogy. Like in life, sometimes the things that happen to us feel like that little pebble. You know, they might not be major things, but until we resolve them, they just fester and they become larger. They become more uncomfortable every time we put weight on them. So it was just kind of an interesting thing I was on to, you know, as far as sharing a message and to say, you know, take the pebble out of your shoe, you know, and you'll find yourself with a lot more relief. Kind of like the old pea under the mat. The
Princess and the Pea.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. It's like, this doesn't feel right. Get that damn pea out.
Westwood, tell me your thoughts on the whole bee, queen bee frequency thing. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Well, no. You were talking about bloodlines, and I can't remember what family it is, but you know, there are many of them, I'm sure, that have the bee for their crest. You know, their house crest, their family crest, and so you know, you start thinking, why would they have bees on it? And so you start looking at bees, and you think, well, okay, what's the deal with the bees? Why do they resonate with that? Why would they put that on their family crest? You can go look it up, search family crest bees.
It better be a good thing, because that's part of my family's deal.
Well, no, but I mean, it could be good and bad. I mean, it could be, just that, that leadership at the top controls everything. It could be a slave system. I mean, in the bad way, because, you've got the queen that controls it all and sets the tone. But it doesn't matter, because you got good kings, good queens, bad both, and it's just that. But there's the people in the know, the people that respect and hold tradition and family, lineage. They understand these concepts from nature. And like what you're talking about, Mitch, it's like the little things that you see in nature, they extrapolate themselves to all the big things in the world. I mean, so those little lessons are global lessons, are lessons for everybody. It transcends everything. It's humanity. It's what we go through. And those little things, everybody's doing it in some way. It's an analogy for what we go through every day in life. And so, when you got that rock in your shoe, you're like, yeah, I can suffer through it because, oh my God, I bend over. I don't know if I can stand back up after I bend over. So do I suffer through it, or do I take it out, and take the time to do it? And it's like, but once you take it out, you're like, okay, I kind of suffered through that. I didn't want to do it. I'm glad I did it. So now I can move on.
Yeah, pain protects us. There is actually a syndrome where children or people can't feel pain. And because of that, they injure themselves tremendously, because they don't have that natural protection of sensing pain to stop further damage. Yeah. And I feel like that's what America has gone through, this dumbing down, whether it's the fluoride in the water or bad food, the mockingbird media, all of that stuff to make us not be able to feel the pain. And now through this awakening process, we're seeing this ugly stuff, and it's really painful. And we're seeing our role in it as Americans. Reggie said the other day on the video, we did an interview, and he said, on the Very Dow channel, please go watch it and subscribe. He said, when America gets a cold, the rest of the world sneezes. And my heart just sank, because I was always raised that America was the shining, bright city on the hill, and we were the hope of freedom and democracy. But now we know we're a republic, a constitutional republic. And that is the example that we're supposed to be showing the rest of the world. And so it might get painful, and we might have to get real humble about how our actions in the past have affected the rest of the world. And it's our time to, with what strengths we have, lift up others everywhere. I
think that quote is, when America sneezes, the rest of the world gets a cold. So
yes, I thought that's what I said. I'm sorry.
I think you said it differently, reversed it, but that's the thing. A little thing like a sneeze in America, and the whole world gets sick, because we are that shining city on the hill. We are that bastion of light. We are that lighthouse. I mean, we really are. And so what we do affects the whole world. I mean, it's a spiritual thing. I mean, you look at the early writings of people who came over here. They believed in providence, which is basically God steering the way and steering humanity to a point to where it can be better. And America is really we're the last frontier. I mean, everybody came over here to do what we want to do for freedom, whatever it is. And so if we lose it here, it's all over. And you see that from other countries. They understand that. So we got to fix our stuff. We got to get our house in order.
The thing is we were the only nation that was founded under God. We were the only country that was founded under God and had God in our principles and in our people. And as soon as we started taking God out of things, out of schools and out of the political actions and all of those things, then you've seen this big decline in the United States. And so the reality is without God, nothing can prosper. And that's the biggest thing. So until we get a chance to bring God back into society the way he should be back in this society, then we'll continue to just fall apart.
You've got to realize where you come from and realize that you're not just some creature that came from one cell that crawled out of the ocean and magically ended up as a human being after 1 million years. No, I mean,
Evolution.
you're actually a spiritual being in a vessel that's connected to a whole lot greater. And they've tried to stamp that out of us, though, and that's destroyed our power in knowing who we are and where we come from and what we're the essence of. And until we can return to that, we've got people that turn to drugs, turn to all these things, looking for some sort of escape. And it's like, you don't need to escape. We've already won. We're already here. You just got to believe in yourself. You got to trust yourself. And when I say trust yourself, you trust yourself that you have a connection to that higher power. And you've got to reconnect to that to realize that you have value, you have worth. Everybody else, your brothers and sister has worth. And then when you start looking at things that way, it's a whole different world. And you start having pride, and not in a bad way, but you have self-worth that everybody has that, and you respect everybody for that, and you want to lift everybody up instead of take everything that they've got and enrich yourself and become, God-like. No, that's not how it is. I mean, it's like we are in the essence of God. We are God-like already. We don't want to be somebody that stamps out somebody else to feel better about ourselves. No, we're all part of the same essence.
We're about picking other people up. And yes, we are created in God's image. And the thing is that, when you have that spiritual connection, everything changes. Your mind changes, your thought process. And there was this thing I think it was in the book of John where Jesus was talking about the lampstand, and you don't put a shade on the lampstand because the light doesn't shine through the whole house. And it's the same thing with us. We're the light, and so we shouldn't hide ourselves from shining upon others. We should take off that lampshade and shine upon other people and inspire other people to do the same. So it's been a crazy journey spiritually for me, and my connection with God has gotten so much deeper over this last year and a half. And it's a pretty powerful thing. And you start to look at things and like say a prayer for something, and then all of a sudden you're looking and you're like, wow, that was my answer. That was the answer to the prayer that I just prayed, and it just happened. So you start to put those things together, and you're like, how can anybody not believe in God? I mean, even some of your evolutionists, I think it was Darwin that said, it was one of them that said, whoever doesn't believe in God, you should check themselves, because you can't help but to believe in it.
Okay, so this opens up a conversation, which I don't know if we even have time to go into all this, but
right.
So you're seeing this. So the Great Awakening was always, in my mind, this is my perception, was that there's a enlightenment or higher, that church is bad, enlightenment higher, other than, don't call it God, call it whatever. And I think you shouldn't put God in a box. I believe that's even in the Bible. He says that you won't really understand me fully till you get to meet me in heaven or whatever. You can't fully ever grasp all of God.
No.
Where we are. We're not capable of that. So for us to even try to keep putting him in a little box of the Methodist Church or the box of this church or the box of that church is really kind of silly. But you are seeing, it's interesting because when I kept hearing the Great Awakening years ago, as public brought it to my attention and I started learning more about it, I always thought it was going to be this hippie love fest. And maybe that's what was happening in the 60s. When JFK was around, maybe that was the first go at it, try at it. And then they realized, they went the wrong path and they chose like drug debauchery.
Yeah, but the CIA got involved in that, and they're pumping LSD on the streets of San Francisco to hijack that whole movement. And that's what they did. And so it's like, you can have all your visions and all this stuff, because people were awakening at that point. And then they stamped it down, send them off to Vietnam. Let's screw them up.
Start a war.
Yeah, exactly. And but because that's how the lizards know how to operate, and that's what they do. The vampires, that's what they do. And so, you're absolutely right. We've seen it. We've seen those glimpses and those rises. You see a Martin Luther King, shoot him, kill him, get him out of here. Right. RFK, shoot him, get him out of here. JFK, kill him, get him out of here. Trump, get him out of here. We can't have people thinking that they can do things on their own and they don't need all this stuff, and so you're right. It did start back then. And so that was kind of the stop it, and they tried to stop it. And that's the thing. You can't stop humanity. You can't stop the Spirit of God that dwells in humanity. And we're always going to come back, and we're going to realize that there's, we're so much greater than, all these institutions want to keep us down and prevent us from seeing.
Well, and that's why I think there will be this separation of what the institutions, what we typically know as church right now, versus what people's relationship with God is going forward. I think that might be the great awakening, and I'm getting chills, but because it's an individual relationship. It's nobody can tell me that define my friendship with Westwood or with Mitchie. That's between me and Westwood, or with me and
we are our own church. It's a
peer-to-peer transaction with our energy with each other. And no one can tell me what my relationship is with God or Christ or my, what I believe. And so I don't know. I feel like some of the etheric might have been a distraction or to distract people. And maybe the Great Awakening is the coming back, because we saw the destruction of families. We saw, or this family unit. I saw a tweet today that said, the nuclear family is, they found like this old, like Mount Vesuvius proof of the nuclear family. Like it is a healthy, good thing. And we see society try to break that down. And I think that's part of all of that too.
Well, it's all part of their break us down so they can control us better, break us apart so they can control us as individuals instead of families, instead of groups. And that's why you see so much division. You see so much, all of this transgender crap is just that. It's just a division. It's just a means to divide
heartbreaking
people. And so there's a lot of forces outside of good forces that are going on in this world. And when people realize that God's not the one in control right now, Satan is. And once his time of rule is done, that's when we're really going to see the big change. And so I'm excited. I don't know. I'm excited to learn more. And I love having discussions, and talking about God and,
Satan is God's creation.
Yes, he is. Yes.
And that's a hard statement for a lot of people to hear, but that is the free will point. And that doesn't mean that God doesn't, he is a creator, not a controller. And I don't know, that gets into a whole nother, so we don't even have to go there.
real quick, what happened with that is Satan challenged God. Satan challenged God's right to rule and said, I can do better. And so in front of all the angels, and God couldn't very well have said, you know what, you're out, right? And cut him out of the picture. No, couldn't do that. So what he did is he said, fine, I'll give you this much time. You go and you see if you can prove yourself better than I. And that's kind of where we're at. So,
and this is Pastor Mitch preaching to a bunch of drunks at the bar.
Yep, that's it.
That's how Jesus did it.
Trust yourself,
Trust yourself.
Thank you guys for the loving birthday wishes.
No, we love you. Happy birthday.
He might be 50 someday. I don't know when it's going to be.
It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Not sure
for another day.
But
that's right. I love you guys. You have a good night. I'm going to go cook some honey chicken.
There you go, baby. Real
All
stuff.
Right.
All right, Mitch. Good seeing you, man.
Good to see you. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you too, brother. The grass is looking good across the street, Mitch, just so you know. Every blade of grass, that's the thing.
The problem is that every time Mitch is there is the same time I want to be there, because I was like, oh, I could Airbnb Mitch. I could borrow his pad.
I know, right?
But he's always there when I'm
We got to set up a meetup and not tell Mitch, and then we'll just let you in the house across the street and say, oh, no, it's next week, Mitch. Don't come back until next week.
I would never do that. That's terrible. Funny.
The Westwood condo.
Very funny. Too funny.
Don't get me thinking.
I know.
Some ideas.
All these ideas.
Lisa's like, okay, so it's 10 hours.
Oh, trust me. Ever since Donna has been telling me about the places I can go, because I have never thrifted Amish.
No, I mean, yeah, that's a whole other thing.
I started thinking about it. I was like, she will know.
I mean, I'm in like Amish light territory right here.
I know.
I mean, Mennonite territory, and I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you call yourself, but it's still that Amish tradition.
Beautiful,
it really is. When you look
furniture.
around, everybody takes care of their stuff. They make things, and they got a lot of handyman. They know how to do stuff, and it's just it's a good community. But yeah, that's why I'm where I'm at. Because it's like, who cares? You can call it a state of Illinois. Oh, that's horrible. It's corrupt. My daughter, she went to Chicago last week for Lollapalooza. Yes. And she flourishes in that environment. She's in Alabama right now. My wife's probably struggling to leave. She's got to come home today. She took all the stuff down there and, moved her in and everything.
I always wanted a reason to say Roll Tide. Now I can say Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. And so Daddy's going to be an Alabama fan now. I'm not a fan of anything, but I'm a fan of my daughter. So
yeah,
I'm going to participate with whatever she loves, So Roll Tide, so I'm a big Alabama fan now. And it's an elephant. And I've always resonated with elephants. I got one sitting up here on the shelf, An elephant never forgets. It's a great animal.
I almost bought an elephant paperweight today.
I love elephants. That's probably my favorite animal if I could pick one.
Me too.
Other than myself.
and
Sasquatches.
And an elephant.
Sasquatches and elephants. I want to see a Sasquatch riding an elephant and then take me home, Jesus. I'm good at that point.
Oh, you're so funny.
But yeah. But I mean, she's that type of person who can fit in anywhere and flourish anywhere. And she's very vibrant, and she's everything that, I've seen myself maybe wanting to be at certain times and not having the chutzpah. I'm not really a people person. I'm really not. And, I'm awkward, in a lot of ways. You wouldn't believe it watching me on video. But it's just, I'm very shy. I'm very introverted. But she's just, I'm so proud of her to where she can leave home, go to Alabama, and already she's meeting friends. And she's just that type of person. And me, I'm just like, I got to have a few drinks before I start talking, just in meeting people, because that's just how I am. And I'm so proud that she can go out there and do that and be so confident and so secure in herself. And she knows the world, and she can participate in it and just enjoy it and still have who she is with her. I mean, that's, to me, she's just like the shining, crown of my existence. She really is. She's just a wonderful girl.
And Dad, because she is a doll, and she has genuine, I think one of the sweetest things about her is that she loves those around her.
Everybody.
In the moment. She's beautiful, could be a little,
whatever.
These girls that get a lot of attention because they're so beautiful, whatever. She is humble and kind and concerned with others, and has this love and giving brightness energy in her. Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, she has respect for everybody, and just doesn't matter, because some people you say, well, I'm better than you and I don't want to talk to you. And she'll talk to anybody. And she's just not that kind of person. And so I'm so happy for her. And she needs to be in that environment around a lot of people because she has so much light to give. And so as hard as it is for me, harder for my wife, because she's going to have a hard time driving home and just leaving. And I get it. I mean, it's a horrible thing for her, and it's tough. I mean, it is letting go, but I'm so happy to let that light into the world.
Too. Yeah. The stories when she comes home and calls you guys or whatever, and the stories that she's telling you guys that she's sharing is from a place of having that sound, secure home base.
That's what I told her. Those are my last words. I said, hey, you got a home here anytime you want to come back. Yeah. I mean, anytime you want to come back, this is your home. You can come back anytime. I mean, but you have to follow your path. You have to be you. You have to fulfill your journey in this world. And I am going to make that happen with every ounce of being that I can, because that's something I'm not comfortable doing. And I admire her that she doesn't have the fear, doesn't have the she's just not afraid to go out and do it and live in the world and, you know, and be herself and just express who she is. And she's just an amazing daughter. And I remember the day she was born, and it's just, man, what a ride. What a beautiful time. And guess what? Your favorite uncle just pulled in his red Corvette.
Yeah. In his red Corvette.
In his red Corvette. Yeah.
Very fast down the road.
There he is.
The back end was just going all over the place. I was squealing. I was so happy. Oh, Lord.
Lord, there it is. Shiny red vet. The dogs are like,
I love that uncle. Yes. So
good stuff at Westwood.
I know all the good stuff at Westwood.
All the good stuff.
You guys, we're going to be doing another meetup at Westwood in October for my birthday. Since I didn't do much for my 50th, I'll celebrate my 51st. It's like my 1-year birthday.
My 50 plus one.
My 50 plus one.
You know what? And I'm so honored to have you in my life that you want to spend your birthday here. And it really is. It's just like, wow, that's pretty cool. It really is.
You are.
I must be doing something right.
Well, you're one of my best friends. So I love you guys. I love everybody in the chat. It's so sweet, and I love that they're all like supporting each other and telling everybody happy birthday and excited about October. We will have Silver Symposium on the West Coast in California. I'll be there with Divvy Daddy, formerly now known as Sat Pulse, Patrick Hakeem, and that whole crew. And then in October 21st is my birthday, and so we'll be at Westwoods. What a great place to celebrate and be with family and friends. And we could do like a Friendsgiving even.
So we're going to be doing like a live happy hour from the Westwood Bar then on the 20th. Isn't that what it is? 20th of Friday? His birthday's on the Saturday, I think.
Yeah. I know so I watch these back, or I watch Westwood's show, and I'm like, tell your dogs to be quiet because it makes my dogs bark.
I know. They get old. My puppies are going crazy.
My puppies are going crazy.
I know. They hear the barking.
It's nice.
Yes, exactly. It's wonderful. I mean, that we've all come together and for a reason. And
if there happens to be a Carrington event, do we have a plan?
I got a plan.
At Peoria Pizza
I'll be in the bar
on October 21st. Is that the right day? Wait a minute. Hold on.
We'll find you.
No. Wait. No. Let me make sure that I'm saying the right day. Yes. Saturday, October 21st. If there's a Carrington event and we're unable to contact each other, meet up at
to Peoria. I'm almost done.
Peoria Pizza Works, October 21st.
And we'll find you.
We'll find you.
Yes. Hey, come over here and say hi to Lisa real quick.
Will he come on video?
Yeah.
Hey. Hey. Are you driving fast and breaking rules?
No, I was going to ask you, did you survive the test drive?
I did. I loved it. It made me squeal like a little girl. And
like fish tail.
A little more aggressive.
It was all over the place.
I didn't know the road was hot like it was. So I apologize if
The road was hot, but the car was hotter. So I loved it. Yeah. Now I want one. It's on my bucket list. Thanks, Uncle Steve.
Yep. Yeah, we've got the adrenaline junkie in the house.
I know. He's my spirit animal. He's my car spirit animal.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's so fun because when I'm there, I get to talk to Uncle Steve and talk about engines and cars and this and that. And he's like very knowledgeable about all that. So I love it.
No, that's good stuff. It really is.
just broke up with my girlfriend.
He just broke up with his girlfriend, so he's coming to the bar.
Oh, man.
I know.
And I'm still married.
She's still married, she says. Oh, she's frustrated. No. She's still married.
Oh. I thought you meant my girlfriend.
No.
Oh, you guys are.
Well, I say that every happy hour, and I'm still married. The lovely Litecoin Lisa in the house.
You're very sweet. All right. Well, I'll let you guys go drown your sorrows in some whiskey.
So,
And
some
love to
tequila.
everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful. Please give us a like, share the video, and please go check out my little video that Cannon and I did on Tuesday for Patreon. It's now live for everyone to watch.
Purple Power.
Purple Power this weekend. But I think it's not till the 22nd. And then to the September 23rd thing.
It's coming.
It's coming. We don't know.
Yeah, take all you want.
All right. Love to you guys.
Love y'all. Trust yourselves.